Sound check, 1, 2.
This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
And he knows as soon as he gives it to her, he's gonna give her his heart to her too.
And we'll have kids and get married.
That's too far.
Holy shit.
Welcome to the 217 Recovery Podcast. It is the 25th of April, 2020. My name is Corey Winfield. Thanks for listening. You can listen on whatever platform you want to. If you're looking for podcasts, you're probably going to find us. Podcast Addict, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, you name it. Like I said, you can pretty much find us. Pandora, still working on that. Whatever. Thanks for listening tonight, though. This is a podcast about recovery. I started it a little over a year ago, 217 Recovery, and we started with a podcast. It's what I did. I did radio for 20 years, and I needed this. This is one thing that I put above using alcohol was radio and my love for entertaining people. So this kind of turns into like a therapy session for myself. I try not to preach. I'm not a preacher. I'm also not a therapist. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a guy who's got almost a year and a half sobriety under his belt. It's the longest I've ever had. And it seems like something's going right. So a lot of things actually going right. As I check in today, though, I'm feeling a little... I'm feeling grateful, and I'm feeling a little... Oh, how did I... Like, is it something good or something bad? And I'll get to that here more in a minute, but I'm kind of teetering on, did I do something bad? And I experienced this feeling quite a bit, and I'm trying to think of what it would be. Doubt isn't really a feeling, is it? Is doubt a feeling? I'm not sure. But that's cautious. Well, there's nothing I can do about it now. So I guess cautious isn't really how I'm feeling, but I'm doing great, though. I'm grateful to be where I'm at today. I'm grateful to have friends and family that I have. I'm grateful my cat is awesome. I'm grateful my car got me to work today. I'm grateful that I have a job. That is a very important part of my recovery. And not just because it's a job, but it's just it's what I'm doing at the job that really makes it work for me. And I work with great people, so I'm grateful, very, very grateful to be alive today, and God's been really good to me. So that's how I'm feeling today. I went to a meeting last night, well, sort of, in New Zealand, and it was midnight here in Traverse City, Michigan, and it was 4 a.m. in New Zealand. And I wasn't really sure what to expect. We got a lot of listeners in New Zealand. Spend a lot of time listening to our podcast. So I figured, hey, I'll go check out a meeting there on Zoom. And of course, if you want to go check out a meeting in New Zealand, Paris, England, Berlin, Ireland, the Redneck Riviera, go to online meetings at 217recovery.com. There's a link. It makes it very simple for you. Just go there. Know that that they're quite a bit ahead of us. 14 hours, New Zealand. And Ireland is 5. I think Paris is 6. But, just keep that in mind when you're going to those online meetings. But it was great, man. There were a couple, actually, people there from the States. Ben from Atlantic City, he was there. His cat was awesome. This guy, it was almost like Mr. Bigglesworth. I think that's his name from Austin Powers. Mr. Bigglesworth. Anyway, the guy was sitting in his computer chair, and this cat was on the back, just hanging out like Garfield would be, but it was black and white. And the guy, Ben, would turn. The cat would just turn with it. He didn't care, man. He was just chilling. I told him this cat was pretty cool. But it's interesting when you go to those meetings outside of your normal meetings. Like, say, if you normally go to a meeting in Coloma or Kalamazoo or Lansing or wherever, Ann Arbor. And those are the people that you see every day, that you don't see every day now. And when you go to a meeting outside of the country, it's different and it's fun. And you need to find, for me, it's fun. And you need to find whatever you find fun and entertaining for you. That's going to get you through it. You know, if you want to sit in a room, whether it be in a real room or you want to sit in a Zoom meeting room where people are just, man, I couldn't find this and my dog and red. Well, go find them. And if that makes you happy, then do it. They're out there. Trust me. And if they're not, start your own. You can start a Zoom meeting for free. But for me, I like to have fun. So New Zealand, they were interested in checking out the podcast. I told them, I was like, some are better than others. You know, it's just like anything else in life. You know, even Miami Vice sucked every once in a while. Not very often, but it did. So yeah, just want to say hi to my new friends there in New Zealand. Now, the something good, something bad that I was talking about, I'm referring to about how I was feeling during my check-in. I helped some people I know who are in very, very early recovery. I helped them kind of get situated with their unemployment here in Michigan. And at first I thought, man, this is great. I'm helping these guys. This is what I like to do. I like to help people. And then there was one guy, I'm not going to say your name, but I could just see the twinkle in his eye and like them wheels spinning. This whole attitude change when I showed him, here, look, here's how you do it, and here's what you're going to get. Here's, when you'll have it. It was like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. My precious. And that's kind of what it reminded me of, really. And I didn't really even think about it until I just said it, but that's kind of what it was like. And I remember when I was in active addiction, and I would kind of be the same way. People would come over to my house, whether it be my mom. Usually it was just my mom, or I guess an ex-girlfriend or something too. And they'd be like, what are you doing? And nothing, just leave. And once they would leave, I'm like, I'm free to do whatever I want. And I would put on whatever face I had to put on to get them to leave, to where I could get what I wanted, which was to be alone so I could drink. And I am so happy today that I don't have to do that. It's a beating, man. If you know someone who's struggling right now, just know, man, it is a beating, and they have to know it. I want to say that I did know it was a beating, but once I got that first drink, and that's what they say in like AA meetings and maybe other meetings too, that first drink is the most dangerous because it doesn't stop after that. There's not just, let me have one drink and go away. No, it doesn't work that way. For some people who maybe aren't alcoholics, sure, it can work that way. Just like I can go into a pot bar. Do they have those now? Or at least a pot store, whatever. I could take a hit off a joint. Sure, it's legal. I don't want to, but I could. And I could walk away and be like, it's not for me. Where somebody else who might love smoking marijuana would say, you're crazy, man. How do you not love that, bro? It's not for me. But I can't have one drink. Can't do it. Won't even try. And that's another reason why I don't smoke weed, because that's not the getaway that I'm looking for in my brain. I'm looking for what I know. And for me, like I said, is alcohol. So, some people could say sex or gambling or, eating. That's kind of a big thing for me right now. I need to do some step work on my food addiction right now. But so Gollum is like, I'm getting this money, and I'm like, looked at him, and I realized it's like, wait, did I just give the keys to the kingdom to the bad king? And I just don't know. Like, am I to blame now if this guy does? I mean, is there something that I can do? Like, maybe I can hang around him a little more, but then is it going to be creepy? And I really don't have time to be hanging out with a bunch of people all the time just to make sure they don't drink. I mean, if they're going to drink, they're going to drink, you know? So I guess I could just, you know, and then like I did, I told him, I said, look, man, this is a very crucial time for you in your life. You know, you're unemployed, like for real. You're not trying to scam the system. You for real are unemployed, and you're stressing, you're worrying yourself. And this guy worries all the time anyway. I was like, so that's not going to help you, you know, worry about what you can control. And if you don't like how that's going, well, you have control. Change it. Easier said than done. Yes, I know, especially in very early recovery. But there are people that will help you. And he just looked at me and said, oh, no, I promise. I'm not going to drink with this money. I said, well, you can promise me all you want, and that really doesn't mean jack squat. You know, you would break a promise to me in 2 seconds, especially if it's alcohol's involved. You know, and it's not that he's a bad guy or he might meet it 100%, but you can see that in the back of his mind that he's thinking, oh man, I could just stay in a hotel for a week and just blow through that money. And then, you know, I don't know what he was thinking, if he was thinking exactly that, but it didn't look like it was good. So I was kind of thinking, is that something good that I did, or is it something bad that I did? Did I open the door and say, hey, here's how the money that's going to walk you to a horrible death? Or maybe he can, I don't know. I guess it's not my fault. Whatever happens, you know, I was trying to help a guy out, and I helped a few people out. So what they do with it is what they do with it. But I really hope that they can take this time where, you know, the quarantine stuff's going on. You got to not really go places, you know, and if they can find a good structure and good support at home, that's not me. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't be there like all the time, but no, if they can find good things to do with their life and stay away, and it's so hard and early in the beginning, you know, if you're not like in like, luckily for me, I had to go to like a treatment center, and before I went to a treatment center, I was already clean for a month. Thanks, courts. So thanks, Berrien County. But yeah, to just have a couple weeks, you know, like these guys maybe, and I don't know, maybe I think one had like a month or two, but to be that early and then, hey, here's a bunch of money every week coming in, that worries me, you know. And something good, something bad, I don't know. I guess we'll have to play it out, or it'll have to play out, and we'll see. But another woman, kind of, she didn't reach out to me, but I know her, and I know she recently had a relapse, and I was just kind of checking, hey, what's going on? I know, like, she really wanted to work in the recovery field, and I think she'd be great at it, matter of fact. But there's this thing with her, and it's about getting out of the city where she lives now. But she's having a hard time, and she doesn't really know how. It's hard to leave your hometown. It's hard to leave a place where you grew up. It's hard to leave family sometimes. Other times it's just a decision that you have to make. You're an adult, and you have to do it. It's your life. And sometimes decisions like that are life and death. I was fortunate enough. First of all, I'm fortunate enough that Jesus is a big fan of mine. You know me personally now, since you're listening, so I'll say this many times. Jesus is a big fan. He's a huge fan. And I am very lucky because I've always wanted to live in northern Michigan. My mom, my family, they'll tell you that. I've always talked about it. So to be up here now and be able to do what I'm doing in the recovery community and with 217 Recovery, and the 217 Recovery Podcast. And